Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita Atha Saptadashodhyayaha. This is the 17th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, the 17th discourse of Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Sri Arjuna on Atma Vidya. The name of this chapter is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Shraddha means faith, Traya means three, Vibhaga means division. So this chapter is the explanation of the division of the threefold faith. So what are the threefold faith? It is the Sattvic faith, Rajasic faith and Tamasic faith. Based on our gunas, we will have faith. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna is explaining about all that division in this chapter. In the last chapter, that is in chapter 16, Bhagavan Sri Krishna explained very clearly about the good values, the Daiva Sampat, and the Asuri values, the demonical nature, that is the bad values. And he said that one come to know about these values from the scriptures. The scriptures very clearly explain about the good values as well as the bad values. So one has to read the scriptures and get that knowledge. Now, hearing all that, Sri Arjuna had a doubt in his mind that if a person doesn't get the chance to read the scriptures, what will happen to them? So he is asking a first question to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Arjuna asked, Arjuna uvacha ye shastra vidhi mutsrujya yajante shraddhayanvitaha tesham nishtatu ka Krishna sattva rajastamaha. So a person who doesn't have the chance to read the scriptures and doesn't know about these gunas from the scriptures, or if he perform a sacrifice with faith but without reading the scriptures, he doesn't have the chance to read the scriptures, but he has faith. He must have attained faith from his family members or from the people who do this sacrifice around him in the society. Somehow he has the faith in the doing the sacrifices, yajnas. But he has not read the scriptures or he didn't know it from the scriptures. So what is his getting? In which division can he be included? Is it Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic? A very important question Sri Arjuna is asking to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. All may not have the chance to read the scriptures. In the ancient time, it was very difficult to read the scriptures because at least now we have printed books. We have to come to know about it. Then we can get the books and read it. But then there are no print books, or they all were written in the palm leaves. It is not so easy to know about the scriptures. One has to go to the Gurukula, stay there and get that knowledge. So it was so difficult. Even nowadays, many people do not know about the scriptures. Even if they know, they do not know what the scripture will suit them. So they will just collect everything. Only some scriptures will suit us. So they will read all the scriptures. Some may understand, some may not understand. If they do not understand, they do not know where to go and to which guru should they approach. They may not know about it. So a lot of time will be wasted in it. So getting the scriptures and understanding the knowledge from it is very difficult even nowadays. So Sri Arjuna is asking to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, if a person doesn't read the scriptures or doesn't know the knowledge, doesn't have the knowledge of the scriptures, but he has faith in the sacrifices, what division can he be included? Is he Rajasic, Sattvic or Tamasic? For that, Bhagavan Sri Krishna answers in the next shloka, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividha bhavati shraddha dehinam sa svabhavaja satviki rajasi chaiva tamasi cheti tam shruno. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling, for an embodied soul, for a dehina, for an embodied soul, there are three types of faith, three divisions of faith. They are the Sattvika faith, Rajasika faith, and Tamasika faith. So, hear all that from me, Arjuna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling. Our faith will be based on our gunas, our prominent gunas. If we have a sattvic nature, predominant nature, our faith will be based on it. If we have a rajasic predominant nature, then rajasic faith, and say like that, respectively, the tamasic faith. So that there are three types of faith. So here rajasic, sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So hear all that from me, Arjuna. Bhagavan is telling. सत्त्वानुरूपा सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत श्रद्धामयोऽयं पुरुषः यो यच्छ्रद्धः स एव सः. So a faith of a person is according to his nature, that is his guna. So based on that guna, he will have that knowledge. We all are like that. If we have sattvic guna, then we will attract sattvic knowledge. We will be interested in that sattvic knowledge and we will go after that sattvic knowledge. If we have rajasic nature, then our guna, according to our guna, we will attain knowledge. Only that knowledge will suit us and we will be attracted by that knowledge. That is rajasic knowledge. The same with the tamasic knowledge. So based on our guna is the knowledge. Based on the knowledge is the faith. When we have a knowledge about something, then we have faith in it. We believe in it, then that belief becomes faith. And based on the faith will be his action, mannerism, behavior, the karmas he do. Everything is based on the faith. Suppose if I have a faith to go to a faraway temple and worship, then I will have everything good in my life. Then by that faith, by that first it will be a belief. Someone will tell me, if you go to that temple, you will get everything good. So that's a belief only. Then I will go there. And if I go there and worship there, then I get everything. Then that is my faith. So based on that faith will be my action. How I behave in the society or the mannerism of me, everything is based on that faith. So the guna leads to knowledge, knowledge leads to faith, and faith leads to mannerism, behavior. A person is that faith. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling, as a man's faith is he is the person, is the personification of the faith in him. And the faith is based on the knowledge, and the knowledge is based on the guna. The gunas according to our past karmas. If we have so many good actions in this janma, then next janma or my next birth, I will get a sattvika guna. So according to that, my knowledge and faith will be. Suppose if I am so cruel in this life, then I will have that rajasic guna dominant in me. The next janma also will be according to that. So based on a faith is the man, and the man is the personification of the faith in him. Next shloka. Yajante satvika devan yaksharakshamsi rajasaha pretan bhudaganamstanye yajante tamasajanaha. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling yajanti, that is yajanti means worship. The worship of God is also based on our faith, definitely. what we have faith, we believe in it, only based on that will be our faith. Suppose if we have a faith that if we go to a faraway temple, we will get everything good, then our action will be like according to that. We will make preparations to go to that temple. So just like that, our based on our faith is our worship. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling here that the people who have sattvic faith, they worship the gods, that is the deities like Bhagavan Shiv, Narayana, or Devi Rajarajeshwari, like that. Sattvika deities we will worship. If a person has rajasic nature, then they worship the Rakshasas and Yakshas. Some people, when they are very rich or they worship the Yakshas because they have a faith that the Yakshas will protect their property. So some people, they have that faith. And some people, they worship the demigods in the name of family deities. They worship some cruel form of deities like some family deities they will have, or the Grama Devata they will have. That will be a very fearful form of that Lord, of that deity will be of very fearful form to protect them as well as their family, for so that they will worship. So the worship of these demigods like that, they are all Rajasic people, and the people who are tamasic, they worship the pretas and bhutas. Some people, when some spirit disturb them a lot, then what they do is they make them God and they build a temple for them and worship them. So these are all worshipping the pretas and bhutas. Some people, they when they anyone in their family, if they have left their mortal body, then they worship them as God. There is nothing wrong in worshipping the ancestors. Even Bhagavan Sri Ram has given lot of importance in it in Ramayana. But worshipping them as the God, that is of tamasic nature. So yeah, Pitras should be given due respect, but they are not that higher souls because they have not attained liberation. The greatest problem in worshipping the Rakshasas, Yakshas, or the Pretas and Bhutas is they themselves are not pure souls. They are not pure jivas. That's why they attained this level. If they are not the liberated soul, and if they are not liberated, merged with Brahman, then if we worship them, we will also get that same mentality and we will also be limited. We can never go to the higher level of worship. So when we are bond with this, then we cannot go to the higher level. So that's the problem with worshipping the Rakshasas, Yakshas, Pretas, and Bhutas. They themselves are not pure souls. They themselves are limited. Then if we worship them, we will also attain the same nature. At the same time, if we worship Bhagavan Sriman Narayana or Bhagavan Shiv or Devi Rajarajeshwari or Devi Parvati, they are that is they are Bhagavan Ishvara. They have their consciousness is infinite. They are that supreme bliss. That's why Bhagavan Shiv is called Shiv, supreme bliss. So when we worship them, we will attain their nature. It will be helpful for us to free from this bondage of samsara. So Bhagavan is telling the people who have sattvic nature, they worship the devas and gods. They have the rajasic nature, they worship the yakshasas and rakshasas. If they have the tamasic nature, they worship the pretas and bhutas. अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः दम्भाहङ्कारसंयुक्ताः कामरागबलान्विताः. And that also, how do they worship? The people who are of Rajasic and Tamasic nature, They worship ashastra vihidam. That is not ordained by the scriptures. Because their ancestors did it, they will follow it. Who knows from where they followed it? First, who started it? No one knows. Since my family do this, I am also doing it like that. They will do. Some people seeing their friends, they will also follow it. So all these are not in supported by the scriptures. They do many pujas and worship and sacrifices based on it. And that also Ghoram, very cruel way of worshipping. Bhagavan doesn't support any cruel way of worship. Because when there is bodily torture, then there cannot be liberation. Because just imagine, when we torture the body and when we worship God, where will be our concentration? Only in that pain. We cannot merge our mind with Bhagavan. Even fasting, what is said in the scriptures is we must fast. For what reason is when we worship Bhagavan, when we continue to chant namas and all, then we will skip food. We do not feel like taking food, then it is okay. But if we starve and if we have to suffer by our hunger and then we worship, it is not supported by the scriptures. Because when we feel so much hungry, our body will be affected and our mind also will be with that body and not with the Bhagavan. So even taking vrata, this is the condition. When we have all seen it, experienced it, when we concentrate on some work, then we may skip lunch or we may skip breakfast because we are so much interested in the work. So then we may not feel that hunger. Just like that, when we worship Bhagavan, when we do pujas to Bhagavan, then we may not feel like taking food. That is vrata. So even that is taken care. Then some people, they torture body to worship. That is the core way of worship. Even today, in this 2024, some temples, they give blood to the Devi as an offering. That also the blood of the children. Just one drop of blood, but just imagine how much pain that young being has to experience. So that type of bodily torture is not supported by the scriptures. And why do they do it? Out of ahankara and dhampa. They take too much credit in giving like that. Cruel animal sacrifices. So all these are even followed in some temples just out of ahankara and dhampa, and also kama raga bhalanvidha, and also by the force of attachment and desire. That's why they do all this way of worship. They think that if we give like this blood to Devi or to Bhagavan, then all our desires will be satisfied. But that is wrong. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling. Why is it wrong? He is telling in the next shloka. कर्षयन्त शरीरस्थं भूदग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तान् विद्यासुरनिश्चयान्. Bhagavan is telling they are torturing the body, that is the elements in the body, and me also, who is dwelling in that body. That's why this body is called Kshetra. Because Bhagavan, as the Antaryami, as the Atma, he is staying in this body as the Kshetratnya, the knower of this Kshetra. Even the temple gets its name with this concept only. The outer structure of the temple is called the Kshetra. We are not supposed to disturb even the outer wall of the temple because the deity Bhagavan is residing in. So if that is the case, if we disturb this body in which Bhagavan stays, Bhagavan is dwelling in this body. If we disturb this body, then are we not disturbing Bhagavan who is dwelling in it? Does Bhagavan like to torture the outer body in which he stays? That's the main concept. We should not hate others, or we should not torture others' body, because Bhagavan is dwelling in their body also. If we disturb their body, or if we torture their mind, then we are torturing the Bhagavan who is dwelling in the other's body. If that is the case, if can we torture our body in the name of worship? Definitely it's wrong. And Bhagavan is telling they are torturing by the elements in the body, they are torturing me who dwell in the body. So all these are tamasic way, rajasic way, asuric way of worship. We might have seen that the Ashuras, they just do core tapas. They just put a lot of fire around them. They will be sweating with one leg. They are doing tapas for what? For their personal desires. They are not doing this tapas to merge with Brahman. They are doing this tapas to satisfy their senses, for the sense gratification. That's why by time they will be destroyed by the same result of the tapas itself. Even Ravana, such a great bhakta of Bhagavan Shiv, but he didn't worship Bhagavan to merge for the Brahma Vidya, the Atma Vidya. He worshipped Bhagavan to have all his powers, and another form of Brahman, that is deity, Bhagavan Sri Ram, he destroyed everything. So that will happen. If we do tapas for our personal sense gratification, then for what we ask for, we will be destroyed by it, because we are torturing the body in which Bhagavan dwells in. So that's the concept behind it. And in the next shloka, Bhagavan is telling, Aharastvapi sarvasya trividho bhavati priyaha yajnastabastadha dhanam tesham bhedamimam shruno. So there are divisions like this threefold in ahara, in the food we take, and that is sacrifice. There are three different types of sacrifice: tapa, austerity; dhanam, giving alms. For that, there are three ways of giving alms. So all these are the threefold divisions based on the gunas. What are all? Food, very common. At least we can imagine that food, sacrifice, austerity, dhanam, giving alms to others, all these have very clear distinction. So Bhagavan is first telling about the food. Ayu sattva bhalarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasya snigdha sthira hridya ahara satvika priyaha. First, Bhagavan is telling about the sattvika food. What type of food is said as a sattvika, or what type of food is dear to the people who are of sattvic nature? What type of food will the people of sattvic nature be attracted to? That is, the food which are ayu, that is, which gives life. Life means it will not, it's very good for the health, it gives life. Then satvika means very pure food, not with all impurities, very pure food. Bhala, which gives strength, it should be giving the good for the health, but at the same time should give strength. Arogya, that is very good for the health, very good with a lot of vitamins and all, good for the health. Sukhi, that is sukha. Some food when we take, it is so light and we feel so energetic. We all might have experienced it. So that type of food, sukha. Preeti, very pleaseful to see itself. And it gives, when we take it, it should give good appetite, very easy to digest. And rasya, very good taste. Snigdha, there is without any bad odor or very good smell and all. Sthira, agreeable food, very okay food, not too high and not too low, agreeable food. Hrudya, that is, we should take it in a good quantity. Not, we should not fill the stomach, but at the same time, should not go without food also. That type of food is satvika food. One should not take food to full stomach. Half the stomach we have to fill it with ahara, then quarter water, then quarter we have to leave it free. But rarely we follow this. Some people they starve in the name of diet, and that is not good for health. And some people they just eat for taste, that is also not good. And Bhagavan, the Guru Sri Adi Shankaracharya will say that is hunger is a roga. Hunger is a roga. So we have to take food like a medicine. So how will we take? Little. So anyway, no one is following that, but at least we have to be take agreeable food. And the food we should take is should be easily digestible. At the same time, it should give vitamins for the body. And in the yogic tradition, what they say is whatever food we take, even if we take fruit juices or fruits, whatever food we take, the grossest part of the food, after taking the vitamins and energy, that grossest part of the food, what we took, will go out as waste. The vitamins, minerals, everything will go to the body to form the blood cells, tissues, cell, bone, marrow, everything. What all are there in the physical body, it will be absorbed by that. And the subtlest part of the food, that is the energy part of the food, go to the mind to kindle the impressions which is always in the mind. So, based on the food we take, that corresponding impressions will be kindled in our mind. We have all types of impressions in our manas because it is millions of years old and all types of impressions are there. So the based on the food we take, that energy from the food will be used to kindle that type of impressions. That's why when we take sattvic food, all that sattvic impressions will be kindled from our mind and we get all the sattvic ideas. Rajasic food means rajasic ideas. Tamasic food means tamasic ideas. So food is so important. That's why the great jnanis they just maintain this body rightly because they have to do tapas. Without this body, they cannot do tapas. At the same time, they will not always care for the body because always looking after the body, they cannot do tapas. So they will take good care of the body and they do tapas. Because without this sharira, they cannot attain moksha. That's why even the devas, they wanted to attain this body because without this physical sharira, annamaya sharira, they cannot attain moksha. So that's the importance of a food. So it has to be taken with the right type of food, right quantity, with right energy should be taken in, consumed by any person. So all these are said by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Shloka 8 of Bhagavad Gita. The best type of sattvic food is the fruits and half-cooked vegetables or the green gram, milk, barley, badam, all these give very good energy to the body. At the same time, it is good for the health also. Dal, all that are very important. Next, Bhagavan is telling about the Rajasika food. Katvam lalavanatyushna ruksha vidahinah ahara rajasasyeshtha dukkha shokhamaya prathaha. So the type of Rajasika food is katwa, that is very bitter. Uh, they have some people, they like even bitter gourd very much. So bitter type of food. Amla, very sour. Lavana, very saline type of food. Ushna, very hot food. Tishna, very dry food. Some people, they dry the fruits and they like it. The fruits as like that, they won't take, they will dry it, then they will consume it. Uksha, Uksha means uh, that is very burned food. Some people, they burn the rotis, vegetables, all that in the tandoori stove, like that. All that type of food like bitter, sour, dried food, pungent smell, and burned food. So all these are liked by the people who are Rajasic. Very hot masala, all that the food are liked by the people who are Rajasic. They say that for their type of work they need this food, but anyway, this food are all Rajasic type of food. Many people will not like very spicy food, but the people who are of Rajasic nature, they like spicy food, and that also they want to take it steaming hot. So that type of food are of Rajasic nature. यातयामङ्गदरसं पूतिपर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्यं भोजनं तामसप्रियम्. The food that is stale food. Yadayama. Stale food means yesterday's food. Nowadays, it's not so rare to find yesterday's food because people keep food in the refrigerator for nearly 1 week. So, what is the use of consuming that food? All the vitamins will be gone, all that good rasa will be gone. So, what is left over? It will be only gross type. Sometimes, when we keep the vegetables or fruits inside the refrigerator, because of that coolness and all that, it will become so dry. But even we consume it because we have no other choice. We will be so busy. So what is left there, we will take it again, cook it and eat it. So what's the use of all that? So the stale food, if a person consume that, then it is of tamasic nature. Sometimes we cook food, it will be more, so we will keep it in refrigerator, take it after 1 week, consume it. So all these are yesterday's food. Actually, in the yogic tradition, what they say is we have to consume the food within 3 hours of cooking, or otherwise it's a stale food. So anyway, all this or not, I don't know. I do not know how far it's possible in today's time. So the food that is sustained, tasteless, of course. If it is yesterday's food, then it will not have any taste. Puti, that is with bad smell. Sometimes some people consume it because they do not want to waste it. Paryushitam, rotten food. And Uchishtamanna. Uchishtam means the leftover food. Some people, they are so interested in the name of not wasting the food, they will consume the leftover food. What is the problem here in taking the leftover food is when we eat the food from the plate or from the banana leaf or whatever it is, when we can take that food, our mental impressions will be there in that food. So when another person consume it, he will also have that same impressions of that impressions will have influenced their mind too. Actually, in Puranas, in Srimad Bhagavata, Devarshi Narada, he took the Uchishta Annam of the Rishis, and that's how he became so divine. But they are Rishis. But when we ordinary people, when we take the Uchishtanam, that is the leftover food, then we will have that our mind will also be influenced by their mind. Anyway, it is not hygienic to take the leftover food, But if we take the leftover food, the main problem is our mind also will be influenced by their mind, the person who consumed the major part of the food. So that is the Uchishtanam. All the people who have the tamasic nature, they do all that. So it's not recommended to take all this type of food. Some people they take this drugs, alcohol, all these. What they do is they just numb the nerves and the cells of the brain. And more than that, all these are physical things. More than that, the energy they transmit is completely negative. So the people, even after coming out from that influence of that drugs or alcoholic influence, they continue to have this type of influence. They will be influenced by this tamasic nature. Their definitely their mind cannot be sharp. They cannot grasp the higher concepts of life. Anyway, we have taken this body, why not use it for the higher purpose? So that is all these are tamasic way of food. Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the next shloka tells about the three different types of sacrifice, which I will continue in my next upload. यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णः यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयोर्भूति ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।